For all my team coins, check out thefootshop.com. Their link is in the description below, and they have brand new methods to transfer your coins over to your account in record time. Use the discount code NEPO at checkout. What's up guys, NepentheZ here, and welcome to Go Compare. This is a brand new series, as you can probably tell by what's on the screen, where I'm going to be comparing a card's regular gold card in packs compared to its best possible card that has been in FIFA so far this year. The reason this came about is because I was playing on stream a few nights ago, and I built my favourite team in FIFA 15, which doesn't have any special cards in it, which is remarkable. The fact that I can win and feel more comfortable with a team with no special cards than with a team either full of special cards or with a special card. So the idea of Go Compare is to take a card and basically play with both of them in the exact same team and kind of track their stats and goals and kind of tell you guys if the player is worth it or not. So the first episode we have gone with Alexis Sanchez. I'm going to be using his team of the season version in this team, and his regular gold version in this team. I say this team, you can't see it yet. On the screen you can see the difference between the players on the cards, the skill moves, weak foot. Now the regular Sanchez, or even the undergraded one, the 84 rated one, goes for around 10 to 15,000 on each console, and the blue card goes for around $1 million on PlayStation and a little bit less on Xbox. So you're looking at genuinely a $1 million coin difference between his gold card and his best card, and we're going to find out whether or not it's worth buying. So this is the team that we're using, guys. I've built a regular BPL team around it because I don't want to build a team of superstars around it, because with a team of superstars, even a regular, you could put a team of superstars in a bronze card and you could still get that bronze card a load of gold because he's with a team of superstars. So I've built it around a regular BPL team. So we've got Man United Depay and Chelsea Cuadrado, Torre, Di Maria and Schweinsteiger in midfield, with Koscielny, Clichy, Company and Walker through the defence, and Courtois in net. This team in itself is relatively cheap. Of course, a few extinct players here, but you're going to get this team for over, like, you know, about 100,000 coins max, maybe even 80,000 coins for this team. Exception, obviously, Alexis Sanchez. We're going to go and play 4 games with each version. So once I'm done with this Sanchez, I'm going to swap him out. I'm going to get myself the regular Alexis Sanchez, and we're going to go ahead and play a few more games with him instead. Boom. So this will be the team we play the other 4 games with. I'm going to calculate the goals, the games played, the wins, things like that, and just basically talk about whether or not there is a real noticeable difference with these cards. Now, one of the reasons why I picked Sanchez as the main card, as the first card, is because for me, team of the season Sanchez is my favourite, one of my 3 favourite players in this game. The reason for that is because he's just incredible, he's rapid, he's always in the right positions, his finishing is epic, he just fits how I play FIFA. However, for the next player, I want you guys to decide who you want it to be. So put in the comment section below the regular card and the best version of the card of the player you want me to use. It doesn't have to be a forward, it doesn't have to be a winger, it could be a midfielder, it could be a defender, it could be a goalkeeper, it could be bronze, silver, gold, it makes no difference. Just whatever players you want me to use, and the most popular pick players will be the one that I use next. But without further ado, guys, let's get into the gameplay. Okay, so in interest of saving time, as we're playing 8 games per episode, I'm going to show you all 4 teams on one screen and then all 4 teams on another screen for both the team of the season and the gold. Now, I came up against 4 incredible teams when playing with the team of the season Sanchez. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner there that it does denote that we are right now playing with team of the season Sanchez. What I want to do first is kind of talk about the difference between the two, not necessarily of regular stats, but mainly of in-game stats, because there's a lot of things that are important with regards to in-game stats, things that people don't really look at too much, and I just want to talk about those a little bit. And first of all, we want to talk about the mental things. What you're seeing on the screen is every goal that Alexis Sanchez had an interaction in. Of course, we played 4 games on each one. Some goals he didn't even take part in. Some goals he was the assister. Some goals he was the scorer. We'll get into the stats and how many goals and such he scored after we've seen all the clips. But first, we want to talk about Sanchez. So, mental, aggression, interceptions, positioning, and vision. His positioning, which for me is one of the key things as to why he's so impressive, in my opinion, is not too much different from his gold to his team of the season. You got 94 positioning on his team of the season, but 84 positioning on his gold card. Now, when you think the base chem for a player is 5, he's going to get a little boost from being on 7 chem rather than 5 chem, that positioning is probably going to be in the high 80s anyway. So you're not going to notice much of a difference in terms of positioning. Interceptions is largely irrelevant. Aggression is another thing that's important, in my opinion, for midfielders and defenders. For attackers, not really that important. I don't, like, there's nothing that says exactly what aggression does in this game. But for me, I've always found that midfielders and defenders with high aggression are always tend to be the players that stand out for me. So the fact that Sanchez has got aggression is kind of, it's just largely irrelevant. Now, of course, he's got 4-star skill moves for both of them, which is great. He's got high medium work rates, which works absolutely fantastic, and his 3-star weak foot is, again, largely irrelevant. The way FIFA works, weak foot, again, only really comes into play for long shots and for passing, in my opinion. When it comes to shooting, if you're close enough in the goal, you're just going to score, lads. You're just going to score. It doesn't make any difference. Like, Alexis Sanchez with a weak foot of 3-star is as good as Ibarbo with his strong foot. You know, like, it's just the way it is. It's the way the weak foots and such works. So we're not really going to look into that too much. So the key things for an attacker, the key things for, in my opinion, a striker is things like agility, dribbling ability, like, you know, ball control, things like that. And both Sanchez's have this in abundance. When you think of ball control, 86 to 95, very, very similar. Dribbling, 89 to 99, very, very similar. Agility, 92 to 99 is very, very similar. Acceleration is very similar. Balance is very similar. When you're talking about the actual key stats, there's usually less than 10 points difference between them. When you're talking about stats that aren't relevant, for example, standing tackle and sliding tackle, he's got 16 extra stats in standing tackle and 14 in sliding tackle. He's, for example, got 24 extra stats in heading. It's just not really relevant. As we move on to the gold Sanchez teams, you'll notice a massive, massive disparity in how good these teams are. I've gone from playing 4 incredible teams to 4 really, really basic teams. What's surprising is the reason why I bronze benched is so that the team rating wouldn't have an influence on my opponents. I wanted to come up against random teams randomly, and to do that, I went into the first round of the tournament every single game. So I'd go into the first round of the tournament. If I lost, I could just go straight back into the first round of the tournament. If I won, I would reset the tournament progress and go back into the first round of the tournament to really give as fair comparison as possible. Of course, you're never ever going to get an exact fair comparison for the simple fact that you're playing 8 completely different people. And for example, one of these games that I came up against someone with the gold Sanchez, the guy was just terrible. He was just awful. That being said, I only took 1 loss out of all 8 games that I played, and that was also with the gold Sanchez. So even though I played against a lesser team, it was a much, much better player. So we took a 1-0 loss. He didn't manage to score in that game, which is why you won't see that team being played against in here. And in terms of the ability of the team that you're playing against, it's not overly relevant. It has minor relevance in when you're trying to compare a player to their counterpart, and when you're trying to suggest, is the gold Sanchez as good as the blue Sanchez, or moreover, is the blue Sanchez worth his price range compared to the gold Sanchez? And we will get to that right at the end of the gameplay. Going back into the in-game attributes, in terms of key stats, the difference between the gold and the blue aren't great. In terms of unimportant stats, the difference is massive. The thing that's really important, in my opinion, for cards that are good attacking wise, whether it's wingers, whether it's strikers, whether it's creative midfielders, is their specialities and traits. And the fact that he has dribbler and clinical finisher as a trait and a speciality, regardless of his team of the season card, is worth more than all of the stats put together on his team of the season card. I've told you guys time and time again, not told you, that's a bit rude, I've explained time and time again how important certain specialities are on certain players. And when you're looking at someone like Sanchez, his gold card has the exact same specialities as his blue card. It doesn't impact, you know, the fact he's got a massive boost doesn't impact the fact that his gold card still has that clinical finisher trait. And that's why I'm, you know, banging in as many goals as I am, even with the gold card. Yes, I'm against inferior teams, but as I said before, the team is not as relevant as the ability of the player controlling the team. And I felt like that was why I went into the first round every time to try and get the fairest kind of view of how good each player was. So this is the game that was just kind of a bit of a mockery, a bit of a walkover. The guy just really wasn't very good. And once I went like 2 or 3 goals up, he really wasn't very good. He just got worse and worse. He went all out attack. He started like trying to score with his goalkeeper. Just general like shenanigans of somebody who's lost the plot and lost their rag. And that was absolutely okay because it allowed me to play nice creative football. Now, what I tried to do was not really specifically pass to Sanchez in any particular game. You'll notice a few times in this game I do. And that's actually just because the shooting opportunity that I had with Di Maria where I cut it back to Sanchez, I didn't know Sanchez was in the middle. I just cut it back because I didn't think Di Maria was going to score. However, here, Depay scores that goal, 10 out of 10. I passed it to Sanchez. I boosted his stats. Okay, you caught me. So we've got 1 extra goal there where Sanchez has got a boosted stat. I gave all penalties and free kicks through all 8 games to whichever Sanchez was in at the time. And this is the final goal now before we go and look at the stats. Once again, kind of fed this one to him. Cuadrado gets through on goal here. Easy enough to just tip that past the keeper, passed it across to Sanchez, and he scored. So guys, there we have it. 4 games completed for each of the team of the season and the regular Sanchez. The team of the season played 4 and won 4. The regular Sanchez played 4 and won 3, even though the teams were kind of massively different. The regular Sanchez scored 14 goals out of 21 total team goals in those games and picked up 4 assists, which is really good. The team of the season Sanchez scored 9 goals, picking up just 2 assists. So the gold Sanchez scored more, assisted more, and had a bigger impact in the number of total team goals and the number of total goals he scored within the team goals, which is crazy considering one of the games finished me losing 1-0. So it was actually just 3 games worth of scoring for him. The regular Sanchez, the team of the season Sanchez, sorry, 9 goals, 2 assists in out of 17. So, you know, he contributed in 11 of 17, whereas the other Sanchez contributed in 18 out of 21, a much bigger contribution. It's slightly unfair in terms of the ability of players that came up against. However, we're here to find out whether or not the blue card is worth more than the regular card. And the answer is quite simply no, which really shocked me because, as I've said many times, Team of the Season Sanchez is right up there for me as one of the top 3 players. But is it all placebo effect? Is it all just like, I'm an Arsenal fan, he's blue, he's got great stats, I score goals with him? Is it just that? Because the gold Sanchez has done just as good a job these 4 games as the blue Sanchez in exactly the same team under the exact same circumstances. The question is the blue Sanchez worth the coins? The answer is no, he's not. Go compare. So that is going to be the end of the first episode, guys. Like I said before, you got any more recommendations, put them in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.